Hello everybody and welcome. I hope you're well. Well, today we're going to talk about rosacea. This is a subject somebody asked me this week to make, and I'm very grateful for that because that helps me to build more videos according to what you want to hear from me. So if you do have any suggestions for me, please don't keep it to yourself. Please leave it in the comments below, and I will try to make it for you. So today we're talking about rosacea. So let's get into this. So rosacea, which is this chronic disease, chronic inflammation, and I say chronic very carefully because I don't like the word chronic or inheritary for diseases. And why is that? Because I don't believe that none of the diseases are chronic or inherited. What it's chronic and what it is inheritary, it's the beliefs and the emotions that are running in that family. And emotions and beliefs that are not being taken care of. They are not being healed. The people keep going through life without going deep on their emotions and see what is it truly that it's causing me this disease. People are not willing sometimes or not aware that you can just try the maybe, and I'm gonna make a video for this, maybe disease is just there to save you and not to kill you. Maybe the disease is there just to say, hey, maybe you check up your emotions, and maybe just like that you go deep on your emotions and you heal that disease, because the disease is there just to help you heal, but heal your soul, heal deep inside you. And for that, once just one person in the family does that, we stop that inheritary or chronic disease that goes running through generations and generations in our family, just like that, because one person in that family decided to heal, decided to stop that all nonsense of inheritary disease. I talk about this in my video of the diabetes, and I'm gonna leave you here, which diabetes is commonly known as an hereditary disease, which not what is inheritary is the emotion behind of I do not want to divide my house, my family. People with diabetes have a very big issue with dividing the family. They don't want that to happen. So most of the time they live inside a family where or a relationship where they're always in fighting. No, they're always in battle. Like it's a battlefield most of the time in the house, or inside them is always a battlefield, but they can fight. They just go there in this battlefield, but they don't fight, because for them fighting means that they gonna separate, and that brings a lot of fear for them, and that's where diabetes is. So the people with diabetes normally swallow everything up, but they won't go into a war. They just go into the battlefield, they look there, but that's it. And I have another video which is diabetic relationships, which has nothing to do with diabetes, but this is how they live the day by day when you live in a relationship like that. So let's get to the subject today, rosacea. So rosacea, it's a big conflict with embarrassment. Sometimes disgrace and sometimes humiliation, but mostly embarrassment. Because once you get all blushed, you get all red, just like rosacea. So rosacea is there to say it's a conflict. You went to a conflict with embarrassment. Maybe you feel embarrassed, or maybe you you felt humiliated, exposed sometimes. So you need to check, when did that rosacea started and what was that situation, not far from that when the rosacea started, that you went to a very big humiliation. Because remember, and I talk about this in my melasma video, our face represents our image, our identity. So when you see this face, you know it's me. If you have seen a couple more of my videos or just this one, and maybe once you see me again, you say, oh, that's the girl that makes videos and she thinks the emotions are attached to the disease. So, because this is what represents me, this is my image, this is what I show the world. So when we have an issue with our face, we're talking about an issue with our image, with our identity. So with rosacea, we are living in a conflict where our identity or our image has been humiliated. I felt humiliated, or I went to a phase where people thought that I was a disgrace. But also the embarrassment could be from our ancestors. And let me put an example for this. So if my name is Claudia, maybe my aunt also was called Claudia, and she and her sister, which is also my aunt, Rosa, they went to church, and Rosa had a panic attack in the middle of the church. What we know today maybe is a panic attack, but she didn't know then, and she was shouting and screaming, and I don't know. And that created a big embarrassment for my auntie Claudia. So now in my life, Claudia, when I go to a situation publicly, or maybe in a church or a place where I feel publicly humiliated, because that's how my auntie lived that situation, in humiliation and embarrassment. Now that brings back those memories, those quantic memories on me. But also it could be maybe my grandmother. My grandmother got pregnant when she was really young. She wasn't married, and that was awful for the age. And my great-grandfather kicked her out of the house because that she was being a disgrace and a humiliation for the family for being pregnant and not married. So he kicked her out and she had to leave. And now maybe I'm pregnant, and then that's where my rosacea starts while I'm pregnant. So we need to go and look on that family tree, what happened there. So in my case, maybe I know that my grandma went to this, and that is a quantic embarrassment that I'm living. And now today, once I'm pregnant, it reminds my unconscious of what happened to my grandma, which, by the way, her birthday is a couple days from my birthday. I need to do a whole video about the quantum doubles and who they are, and about how we are so related to our ancestors without sometimes knowing. And then we have the sense of belonging, and that is a big issue for most people with rosacea, because people sometimes feel that they don't belong to the family. They don't belong to nothing in the family. They are different. They are the black sheep sometimes, and they don't feel like they belong to the family. And sometimes the only way to belong to that family is having rosacea, because everybody in that family has it. So if I have it, I will be part of that family. And this happens sometimes when somebody's trying to do something really radical for the family, because that person maybe wants to do something that the family will not approve, or will be very radical for the family, very against what the family goes to. And when they're trying to do that, but at the same time they're trying to belong to that family, that's when rosacea comes. Like I always say, you have to look when rosacea starts. You have to go back then. When did that start? What month was it? What was happening in my life? And that will give you the start of knowing those emotions. I hope this video has helped you, and until next video, take care and bye-bye.